I have such big feelings about this one. Oh my god, I have such big feelings. I instantly spilled my drink. I'm very passionate about warrior cats. Welcome to back to the stream. We haven't been here for a minute, but we're back. Don't fear. I am I am here alive. My heart is beating fast and in strange pitter pattering. I should probably go to a doctor. What's it like when it's not on beat? Like kind of desynced? Doesn't matter. I told myself, Jaden, when you started the stream, don't go into rambling. Now me explain. You know what? The train isn't even on the rails, bro. The train is not even in the station. I don't know where a train would be. That would be confusing. Perhaps in the ocean. Would that just be there? I think there are underwater trains. This is not the point. We're kids. Welcome. I have big thoughts about this book, and I fear, with great fear, comes great terror and little responsibility, that I'm gonna have a bad take. But I truly, while I was like reading slash listening to this, because I did some of the audiobook too, is maybe I'm the problem. Is it me? Am I the issue? Because I have big thoughts, huge thoughts, in fact. Okay, so let's just jump into it. I feel like I'm gonna make friends, and by that I mean everyone's gonna hate me. I'm gonna make enemies, but no. Yes, welcome everybody. When are you gonna do new clan gen? Ooh, I've been wanting to do. You know what? No, I'll save that to the end of the stream because I gotta focus at the beginning. Okay, sorry. Hold that thought. Okay, so welcome to Starlight. We have found the new territories. A lot happens in this book. Spoilers, as per usual. You know what happens in this book. But we're in the new territories. We're just kind of getting our proverbial paws wet with mud. There's a lot of mud in this book. They're constantly talking about being in the mud, which is pleasant. But we are finding the territories. We're finding where each clan is going to live. And in and amongst that, there's some political drama. This is what we love. And there's some romance. Oh my god, this is actually kind of a fire book. And by that I mean it's mid. No, it's not mid. It's actually pretty good. A lot happens in it. This is our first sight of Leafpaw and Crowfeather. Now, every word of that sentence felt like venom. No, what's the one that hurts you? Poison? Venom, I guess, would be good for me if it was my own venom. Poison. It feels like it on my tongue. In my mouth. Oh, Sunny! It's just so wet in the new terry, too much my good lord, I'm so excited to see Sunny, I can't read. Too much mud everywhere. There's too much mud everywhere until the end when there's a little less mud. Can I get a booyah? Starkland said, no more mud, only tree. If you get it, you know, hee hee ha ha, we'll get to there. Yes, okay. Alrighty. So we get our first taste of Leaf Paw and Crowfeather. And you know what's fun? Let me have a sip. You know what is so fun is I have the memory of something with a really bad memory. And so I forget, like I've read through these books. I don't want to exaggerate, but between like writing stuff, doing mouse brain, I did a lot of rereads, like just a bunch. I've probably reread the arc or series, I would say close to 5 to 10 times. Which maybe doesn't feel like a lot, but for me it's a lot. And by that I mean like I always skipped one of the clans. Regardless, I've read the first couple arcs more than the others. Why did I? Oh, and I always forget what happens, and I have like new discoveries, and by that I mean I rediscover the same thing over and over, but it just becomes novel again because I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about the fact that I had this discovery already. But yeah, so I think it was like a couple weeks ago I was yapping. I don't think Leafpool, and Crowfeather are actually in love. I take it back, apparently, because this book they make it very clear that I am wrong. Very wrong. And you know what's funny? In this book, we get like basically confirmation, but it is surprising who's the number one Crowfeather and Leafpool. I'm so mature. Leafpaw shipper. I mean, they're the same age. It's Leafpaw, but she's just a medicine cat, so like it's fine. But they're the same age because I think him and Squirrelflight are like very similar in age. But she's Leafpaw for majority of this book. I'm just gonna say Leafpool because we all know. But she you know who's the number one shipper? It's freaking One Whisker. Could you believe it? He puts them in the like in their vicinity so often it makes me cry with sorrow because I'm like my poor. And also the Mothwing slander in this book, and by slander I mean she was very bad and she did something terrible and nobody's slandering her, they're actually very nice on her, but the fact that my precious little baby could do something even slightly not okay is not okay with me. Where's I going with that? I love Mothwing. Anyway, One Whisker. He is so. I heard leaf poop. I have a bad because I tried to decide between saying leaf paw and leaf pool, so it came out leaf poo. Oh no, Leaf. Oh, Sunny says Leaf Crow was justified to me recently as being very funny to watch play out as such an over dramatized experience. That being said, they fully meant for this to be serious, so that is still a problem. Like, and it's what I do like about this is so often in these books, it is like we see the one character and then the other character's like, oh yeah, that could work for me, sure. And I thought that that was happening with like Leaf Paw and Crowfeather, where Leaf Paw so many times she was like, my fur, sorry, I'm gonna get through. My fur would tingle when I was when I was next to him, and I imagine him brushing against me, and they're fireworks, but I'm a cat, so I don't know what those are. Do you think they've seen fireworks? Also, there was a lot of northern lights recently. Do you think, obviously, you know, the warrior cats are real, much like, I gotta be careful. What is my audience? The northern lights, what do you think they would call them? Dancing lights, I feel? Or like, ooh, I don't know. What would they call them? Like, it would be something whimsical, I'm sure. Is this series 2? I low-key forgot. It is series 2, yes. It is the... What is it, actually? Is it the... Oh, yeah, it's the 4th book of the 2nd arc. What the heck was I saying? Oh, One Whisker. So many times in the books we get like one character, and we really get a lot of that through Crowfeather, of him like being kind of indifferent, and him being like, oh, like, yeah, like, what are you doing here? Like, she comes to heal, I think it's Morning Flower, because she had, and you know, oh, the fact that they are, the comments, yeah, where are the comments actually? That's a good point. Oh, I think they're hidden under the background. Yep, you're so right. Bramble Claw. Why are you hiding the comments? Here, you guys can sit behind them. There we are. You can hang out behind the crew. Now, I can't really see you guys here. Let's make these guys smaller. Whoa. What the heck was I gonna say? Oh. Yeah, so many times it's one or the other, but then Crowfeather at the end, he's like, no, because she's like, you know what, I'm jumping ahead, I'm jumping too far ahead, but she goes over to Wing Clan to save Morning Flower, because my precious, sweet, perfect, nothing wrong with her, everything about her is an angel in disguise. Why did I say angel so weird? Mothwing accidentally gave everybody poison. It happens to the best of us. But she accidentally almost killed like 500 people. And you know what? I can forgive her. She could kill me and I would be like, you know what? That was justified though. I mean, have you seen me play checkers? I'm not good at it. And she's like, valid. I don't know how. Actually, you know what? That's such a lie. Can I brag for a second? I'm like medium at checkers. I feel like if I can get a stroke of stupid luck, I feel like that's with anything, but I feel like the way I play checkers is so backwards, and so like that is a bad move that I trick my opponents into being like, that person would never make such a dumb move, and then I do. So it's like reverse psychology. And that's just me. So how are we talking about checkers? I can't remember. Anyways, checkmate. That's why I'm not good at checkers, because they just keep screaming that. They're like, what are you talking about? But yeah, so they're together. So here's where I don't make friends. This is where I make enemies. So Squirrel Flight and Brambleclaw are being so precious throughout this. Like, they're finding the new territory, and like Brambleclaw, I can't remember what the heck he does. He's embarrassed about, that's what it was. And then, you know what the other thing is? I'm all over the place in this. I do apologize. But I mean, you've come to know this. It's what, the 11th episode of this? But I didn't realize how much like trauma these guys have about the two legs. Like, yes, obviously I know that they do, but like they bring it up, and it's Brambleclaw actually who brings it up the most, who's constantly, anytime he sees any like sign of two legs, the Thunderpath, anything, he's like, he constantly says like, he has like images, because we're from his movie, he's like, I'm seeing the forest being torn up, and like I imagine my new home, and like he's constantly being like, oh, like I can picture this happening again, and it makes him do some, I don't want to say dumb, because it's not dumb, some irrational, no, it's not even irrational, I don't know, some rash, I guess, decisions. And like he sees a Thunderpath and he gets scared, and I can't exactly remember what happens, even though I read it like 5 seconds ago, but he gets all embarrassed. But like he shouldn't be, because like it's such a valid thing. But like, and the reason I bring this up is because I don't really think I noticed before how prevalent it was, especially in Brambleclaw, which makes sense. Like you see your whole home being like torn up, but I don't know why it just never really struck me until this read through. Reckless behavior, exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know, but Squirrel Flight is so like loving to him, and like she's like, hey, like I understand, like, you know, because Brambleclaw was feeling all embarrassed because Misty Foot was with them to like stake out the new territories, and like he was like kind of trying to lead them because Crowfeather and Tawny Pelt was with them, and he's like used to being the leader, and he's like trying to lead them, and then everybody's like, oh, you probably shouldn't do that, you're not a deputy, and Misty Foot definitely is, and so he's like a little embarrassed, and like Squirrelflight kind of she's Squirrelflight at this time, he's like, you know what, I understand, like just very loving to him, and I'm like, oh, I love that. And there was a couple moments where I was like, oh, precious, but then everything goes sideways. And here's the thing. I don't think it's Brambleclaw's fault. I really don't. And I know that's a take. But like, he like, and maybe somebody can change my mind. I've got a very weak sense of argument because I'm very indecisive and very, very easily swayed. So, but like, Brambleclaw realizes that Hawkfrost is his brother, okay? And remember, we're not going off of any information past what we know in this moment right here, right now, okay? So, like, yes, we know Hawkfrost is a not-so-great guy, if we've read the further books. We know that. We know that the whole Tiger Claw thing is going to happen. But in this moment, we don't. Like, he is just a guy. And constantly, Squirrelflight is like, you cannot be, like, and to the point where it's like, sorry, I'm puffing the mic. I don't understand where this is coming from, because she gets this feeling that Leafpaw doesn't trust him. And so Squirrelflight's like, you know, my sister doesn't trust him, and like, you need to not be hanging out with Hawkfrost. Can't you see he's a bad guy? And like, my sister has this feeling. And then Brambleclaw turns to him and he says, yeah, your sister, that's my brother. Like, why is that not valid? And I'm like, you know what? I think I agree. Like, I just don't know if I understand enough, like, and like trying to really take away anything else we know about him. But from this book, like, we know the little things with like Mothwing and Sorreltail. So there's little things like that. But to justify it to the point where you're like all but like severing an entire like deep friendship for somebody wanting to connect with their brother, and not even really connect, to talk. Like, they were at the gathering and he's like, yeah, I was just talking to him, and Squirrelflight's like, oh, so you choose him over me. It's like, no, like, where, and like, I get that you're having this extreme reaction, but I also don't get it at all, because why where is this from? Like, I just really don't understand. And it's really, I don't know, it's maddening, because she's going like, oh, Leafpool is so important to me, or Leafpaw, I suppose. Leafpaw is so important to me, and like, we have a deep bond and stuff like that, but then she just totally like, I don't know, and there's just something that rubs me the wrong way, and I get that she's still like young and rash, but like, I don't know, I just do not feel like it's justified at all, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm out to lunch, but, Cricket says, I don't feel like comparing Squirrelflight and Leafpool's relationship to Hawkfrost and Brambles isn't fair, though, in my honest opinion. No, and you know what? They're so much closer. But I think what I'm trying to say is, if you boil it down to like just her argument of my sister, he can turn around and then say my brother. Obviously, we know like they have a special connection and they can like psychically, or not psychic, well, kind of, and they like have a different relationship. But I just mean of her argument just being like, my sister told me, I feel like he could turn around and be like, well, if you are allowed to talk to your sister, why am I not allowed to talk to my brother? And again, obviously we know he is a bad guy, but in this moment we just don't, you know? I think the sticking point for me is that we just went through a 3-book journey with Brambleclaw and his sister, and he didn't connect with her much at all. Nor does he care about spending time with, and then I'm gonna assume you say Tawny, Pelt, and Mothwing. And that is, and I made a note of that, of like, my brother, my sweet, perfect brother who I want to connect with, blah, 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 Hawkfrost in RiverClan. Well, and I guess my half-sister Mothwing too, whatever. I don't even think that's her name, I don't know, something or another, whatever. He's very indifferent with his sisters, which is gross, and that's in my opinion, entirely different issue of the female characters being shafted for a lot of it. And I don't think often, but I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to give him, which is unfortunate that he can't see this in his sisters, because I think it is such a far stronger connection. And this is not me just trying to love on Mothwing, although it is always my go-to. But I feel like his connection with Mothwing could be, well, I don't know, because Mothwing, no, you know what, maybe not, because Mothwing is like a medicine cat, so is it, but definitely Tawny Pelt. Like, I don't know, like, I think their whole thing is like, you're getting judged for this, that, or the other for being Tiger Claw's son, and you're also Tiger Claw's son, so maybe it's that extra little thing. I'm not sure, but it just, like, I understand wanting to connect with your sibling, and it's just, and I guess, like, really, really, really just trying to take everything we know about him going forward out of it. It just seems not fair of Squirrelflight to be as, like, she's not even mad, she's furious whenever he even, like, talks to him even slightly. Like, Hawkfrost comes up to him, and I think it's a gathering, and he's like, hey, like, Hawkfrost is like, I'm sorry to see that the clans are parting. I would have loved to get to hunt with you. And then he leaves, and then Squirrelflight comes up, you are talking to Hawkfrost, and I'm like, yeah, huh? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and again, maybe this is a bad take, and maybe I'm just being surface of it, but to me, it's just like, I feel like they had to have a fight, and had they done a tiny little moment with Squirrelflight and Hawkfrost, of Squirrelflight seeing him do something, or Squirrelflight, like, talking to him and him saying something to her, or just something, I could get why she would feel this way. But I mean, she's like, okay, Leafpool doesn't like him. I don't think Leafpool ever tells her about the whole, and I'm not disagreeing that Hawkfrost is a bad guy. Like, it is very apparent he's a bad guy, and I don't agree that they should be, like, he is a bad influence on Ramble, but at this point we don't know that, but neither does Squirrelflight. So I just don't really understand where it just feels like it's not that I have an issue with her argument, it's that I have an issue that she has, no, how do I say this? It's not that I disagree with her, but I just don't understand the I don't know how extreme it is for what she knows and what she doesn't know at this point. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just had a weird feeling about it. They both look like Tiger Claw. Maybe that's different than with his sister, says Nova. That could be a good point, too, because, I mean, at one point when they go to the dream, he does... Hang on, that's a good point. He has a dream with him and Tiger Claw and Hawkfrost. And you know what? I thought it was really kind of an interesting moment, because Tiger Claw is not wahaha evil, and I've made that very apparent how much I hate that. But, they're in they're in wherever they are, Limbo, and, Brambleclaw is like, oh, Tiger Claw, like, what up? And then Hawkfrost has a moment where he's like, are you, well, I think before he even says Tiger Claw, Hawkfrost says, are you Tiger Star? And Brambleclaw's like, oh my god, yeah, like, he would have never met him, like, he was dead before, Mothwing and Hawkfrost even came into the forest, so this is Hawkfrost's first time meeting him. And Brambleclaw has a moment of, like, even though, like, we don't really know each other, he's like, one look at the 3 cats and everybody would instantly know their kin. It was some quote like that. It was something to the effect of, like, they would look at them and they would all know all 3 were related. So, and when Brambleclaw does see Tiger Claw, he makes a point of being like, oh, it's like staring in my reflection. And they do make a big point of them looking a lot alike. And I think the sisters, well, I mean, Mothwing, here's the take, Mothwing never deals with that. Mothwing entirely is, if you changed who Mothwing's dad was, her story would not change. And I stand on that. And it makes me so sad, because I'm like, you have, like, one of the most interesting Tom's, in my opinion, to be your dad in the second arc, and you do nothing with nothing. Like, yeah, okay, I guess her story would change because she wouldn't be related to Hawk Frost. But I just mean like her herself isolated. And it's just like, why? Why? That would have been so cool. Could you imagine we had a scene where, I guess she doesn't believe? I don't know. I'm just so frustrated that we just, so like, I don't even count Mothwing in the three of them because the books don't, and which is sad. And I wish that we would have seen more, but the authors just don't give a crap at all. At all. Like, they don't. They really don't. And it's just sad. Canonically, says Sunny, Hawkfrost scheming was happening here as he was trying to spur on the Wind Clan civil war, but we don't even have a perspective focusing on the civil war, so we have really no clue that any of that is happening until it's already over, and Squirrel and Leaf look like they're either prejudiced or being, I think that's what it is I'm saying, or I'm reading it wrong, or being given special author insight as a result. And Sunny, and sorry, that was from Sunnyfall. And that's exactly right. And the Civil War, too, isn't until, like, the last few chapters. And I don't agree. You know what? Hawk Frost is... Like, I hate to say it, but I really love Hawk Frost, and he's such a conniving little turd. But, like, what a brilliant escape, because he plotted with Mudclaw, yes, Mudclaw, to be, for the whole Civil War, to take down One Whisker, blah, 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 blah. But Hawk Frost then, on a dime, realizes this is not going well, turns on Mudclaw and convinces Brambleclaw. And again, I don't blame Brambleclaw for this. And apparently I'm a Brambleclaw apologist in this book. It does change because I become not a big fan of him. But at this point in the arc, Brambleclaw, he's like, no, like this, like I thought... So this is Hawk Frost. He's like, I thought I was doing what was right. I didn't think he was the rightful leader. Like, I mean, it's still shitty that he would do that. But, like, from Brambleclaw's eyes, I mean, it's his brother, right? So he's probably like, and he's really torn. And the whole thing with the lightning striking the tree, the lightning strikes the tree and kills Mudclaw. What a brilliant out for Hawk Frost. Like that, you couldn't have asked for a better out, because he was like, I saw the sign from StarClan that One Whisker is the real leader and he is the right leader, because StarClan came down and like smitten, I don't know what the word is, Mudclaw, and now I see that you are the, like, and I just thought I was doing what was right. And I mean, terrible, and I mean, obviously he doesn't mean it, but it was just like, yeah, like, how do you argue that? Like, I guess you could, but like, and One Whisker is like, this is one of the last, what is on my notebook? What is that? Weird. This is like one of the last books where One Whisker isn't a turd, and I liked One Whisker in this book. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, there's just, we don't really see any reason for us to not trust Hawk Frost. Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Hi! You like to talk about the cats? Hi, you! Puppy dog just came in. But I just don't really see I just don't think I understand Squirrel Flight in this book. And maybe that's me, and maybe it's because we don't get her POV in this. But it's just frustrating to read, because I just, if there was, they could have taken 1 second, 2 seconds maybe, to just have some type of interaction between them, had a dream, had a message from StarClan, literally anything, but we don't. She goes, oh, my sister says she doesn't trust him. Time for me to go absolutely nuclear on him. Like, I don't know. And, I don't know. It's just... I don't know, everybody's on the borderline. That's a thing. Like, this is when I was like, I'm telling you, I black out when I write these songs, because I think I was closer to the song of like, well, you know what? Actually, I think I I'll never say this out loud, but I think I had On the Borderline backwards. Because, well, no, because as we get into it, because Crowfeather, no, that's kind of getting into spoilers. Okay, we'll leave that for a further conversation. But it was so kind of going a little bit backwards. But One Whisker is the #1 Leaf Paw and Crowfeather shipper, because Leaf Paw at the point is coming into Wind Clan to be like, okay, like a whole bunch of our clan is got a tummy ache for no reason at all. Not my perfect, precious, beautiful, lovely, amazing, incredible, perfect Mothwing accidentally gave everybody poison. No, we're just gonna ignore that. And I love also that she like, oh, we get so little and so much of Mothwing in this book, and I'm sad the whole time. But what the heck am I saying here? I got distracted by Mothwing. What else is new? Holy cow. Oh, she's like, oh, like some of our cats have a sick tummy and I'm here to help. And then Crowfeather's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And then they're like bickering. And then One Whisker comes in and he's like, hey, like she's welcome here. You know what, Crowfeather, you get to hang out with her since you're so concerned about it. And he's like, well, I'm going to go on a patrol. And he's like, no, you ain't. Because Leaf Paw was like, oh no, White something can hang out with me. And then One Whisker's like, nope, Whitetail is coming with me on a hunting patrol, and Crowfeather's gonna stay with you. I'm like, what? Why? But I'm like, oh my God, man's a shipper. And so he's like, oh, are you serious? And One Whisker's like, yeah, I've never been more serious in my damn life. And so then later, when Leaf Paw is going back to ThunderClan, One Whisker's like comes back and he's like, yeah, and Crowfeather, you will be taking Leaf Paw back to the ThunderClan territory. And Crowfeather's like, what? No. And Leaf Paw's also like, no, like, it's fine. And One Whisker's like, no, that's an order. You will be. And I'm just like, why are you trying to push them together all the time, One Whisker? You little, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, I just love that. I just thought it was so, like, it just, every time he would, like, make them interact, I'm like, what is, One Whisker, you little hopeless romantic. Oh, Sunnyfall says, okay, rewrite idea. Okay, everybody settle in. Listen to this. We got brilliance happening, cooking up here. Make Crowfeather a POV to show us that the Wind Clan Wind Clan Civil War side. Ooh, and while meeting with Leafpool one night, a thing that will happen regularly in this imaginary, yes, dude, yes, if they're meeting, oh, because that puts so much more, like, strength into their relationship. When they're meeting, okay, hold on, let me reread that. When they're meeting with Crowfeather's meeting with Leafpool one night, that happens regularly. They spot Hawkfrost talking with Mudclaw, and what they realize is in a potentially dangerous way. Ooh, this gives Leafpaw a very strong distrust of Hawkfrost, which Squirrelflight picks up on but doesn't understand. I like it. I think, I don't know, like, and I get having this intuition. And you know what? Squirrelflight, that is definitely way better than what we have. And I guess Squirrelflight has kind of always been like, act first, kind of think later, and goes on her gut. And so that is definitely a lot better. Like, I don't know, I just feel like that it is just not justified enough for her to have this reaction. Like, sure, if you don't like Hawkfrost, I'm not saying that she's not allowed to like Hawkfrost at all. Like, she is, like, completely... But for her to go as intensely on Brambleclaw she does. Like, she could be like, hey, I really don't want you to be, like, talking to him, and it makes me uncomfortable. And Brambleclaw's like, okay, well, like, he's my brother, so I'm gonna talk to him still. And she's like, hey, well, like, if she had any type of, like, escalation, but it goes from 0 to 100, like, in a snap. And I don't know, it feels unfair, I think. And I don't know, there's just something about it where I just am not rooting for Squirrelflight in this one instance, where I'm like, I just don't think I just don't. Bentley's mad that Austin's not giving her Chewy. Oh, poor Goop. I just don't think I understand, and maybe that's on me. I'm not sure. But then it just feels like just a way for them to have a problem, and for the whole Ashfur thing to happen. And poor Ashfur in this, I'll never say it again. But he's just kind of like happy. He's like, oh my God, Squirrelflight notices me. Sorry, Bentley's yelling at Austin. Come on, are you being naughty? Uh-oh. She wants that Chewy. She's like, do you have any idea what time it is? It is almost noon, and I don't have my dental Chewy in my mouth. This is absolutely unacceptable. In her old age, my God, she's getting so... side note. She's getting so, like... persnickety. She is so bossy. I will not be like, I'll be like getting ready for bed kind of thing, and it'll be like 5 minutes past 10:30, and she's mad. She's standing at the door of the office barking, and I'm like, what? Like, you were just outside, you have food, you have water, what do you need? And she'll bark, and then she'll go to the room like, okay, like, it's time for bed. I'm like, are you serious? That's what your issue is? And she'll bark, and I'm like, bro. Bro, I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, you little lady, go to bed. Like, you are fine to go to bed without me. My goodness. Anyways, let's go. Oh, Alex! Oh my gosh, you're behind Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight. What the heck? Or you're behind, whoa, where are you? Alex and Alexander. Oh, our Alex donated Alex, that's for you, Alex. Thank you. Dude, thank you. Oh my God. We love Alex. I need a bunch of hearts for Alex. Thank you. Oh, I think it's, no, is it Alexander or is it Alexandra? I think Alexander, right? Um, yeah, so I'm just mad, I think. I'm just kicking my feet. But oh, Ashfur is kind of like just nothing in this book. He's just like la 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 la. Oh, the girl I like is paying attention to me. Whee! Like he doesn't do anything really bad. And I think, and again, like I'm trying to go off what we don't like, what we know in only the books we've read so far. So he's, yeah. Oh, the other thing I thought, and this is like way, like the soundboard. Shark fin, you. I always forget we have it. Hold on, I don't even think I have the program open. Hold on. Let's see, what is it called? Oh, let me open it here for us. Okay, it's okay. Oh, get out of here. Remind me later. Okay, it's here. Shall we? Shall we have some soundboard time? Let's give a random soundboard. Whoa! I'm knocking things over. Don't listen to my ginger ale. Okay, this is for Sharkfin. This is your random sound for reminding us about the soundboard. Oh, you got an attack. You got an attack. Okay, Alex. Going back, Alex sent us a donation, so Alex gets a Star Clan prophecy from the soundboard, okay, everybody? Okay, Alex, this is your prophecy coming straight from the soundboard. Let me make sure it's turned up. Okay, here you are. Now, I'm not sure what to do with that. Really, I don't know. You got Nawuga, so Alex, do with that as you may. Oh, no. Here, one more, let's just see. Okay, well, that's just disrespectful. Soundboard says, no, you get one only. Okay, we're back. Oh yeah, and this is the other thing that I can do. Hold on. I forgot. I always forget I can change my face. But now we're back. Okay, this is me being sad. Wait, why is my mouth not working anymore? It's like not oh wait, maybe yes it is. Doesn't like when I've changed it. Wait, does it work with this one? What's your problem? Okay, the lip sync's a little janky today and I'm not sure why. Hold on, is it because I have too many things open? Hold on, let me try and close some things. What is your issue, honk? Mad at me that I have how many millions of tabs open. Okay, is that any better? Not really. Honk, please, why are you... Oh, nobody look at this, nobody look at this. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna just restart Honk real quick. Don't mind me, I'll be right back. I'm still here, but my character is currently hiding. Maybe, oh, am I too far from the mic? Can you guys hear me? Hold on, don't mind me. Is she firing back up? You're gonna see a character that's not me here for a hot second. Don't mind that, that's just a default one they give you. Okay, I have disappeared. I actually looked away. Don't look at me. I'm, whoa. Oh my gosh. Sorry if you heard that on the mic. Okay. Did that fix the lip sync? Oh, it totally did. I feel like the lip sync's a lot better now. But maybe not. I can't really tell. I haven't updated it in a while. But anyway, so please don't look too closely at it. Hold on, maybe if I can see if I can. Whoa, that's scary. Okay, nobody, Okay, hold on. I don't know if this is more or less. Wait, I can't tell if that's... Oh, that's definitely worse. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeepers. Okay. Did that fix it at all? Oh yeah, I think that did fix it quite a bit. I think it was just too quiet. Okay. However, we now have a problem where I have two ears. Oi. What is happening? Okay, hold on. Oh, jeepers. Okay, I'm gonna jump scare you with an old version of my character. One moment, please. Ah. Oh no. It's possibly crashing. No! Okay, this is my old version, see? Okay, is this one working? Oh my goodness, I'm glad we updated. This is what a flashback. Okay, let me give it back to the other one. Okay, hopefully this has fixed my double ear issue. Dark Forest, Blixemi. Okay, come back, my character. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. It just was like, I don't think it was picking the mic up very much. In fact, I think it was picking up the other mic now that I think about it, but that's fine. Okay, sorry, we're back. Also, okay, so I have a question. So, this is from really at the beginning. Am I very loud, by the way? So, we get this prophecy at the very beginning. Or no, we don't. Hello. Very early, we got this midnight thing. So, in StarClan, the StarClan cats are like, oh, we've come back from the forest. And hooray. Whoa. My poor mic. We've come back from the forest, and like StarClan had to travel to, blah 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 blah. And then who appears in StarClan but our girl Midnight? I'm pretty sure she appears. But and I thought, okay, so badgers are essentially a predator for the cats. Like they hunt the cats sometimes. So I was thinking, I'm like, what would be the equivalent of like one of the cats doing that? And I'm like, what if one of the cats had to give a prophecy to a mouse? I feel like it's the same thing. Like, how jarring would we be like if like you can't talk to a, like, that's a mouse, but I guess it's like essentially the same thing. And I'm like, what a fun little flip on that of like, if one of the cats are being sent a message from like Mouse Star Clan, Squeak Clan, and they're like, we have to deliver the message to the mice, like we would be like, why do we care? But there's mice, but that's what the badgers think. And I just was like, oh, how fun if we had to do that, like midnight, and it goes all the way back around. Interesting. Also, the other thing is Spotted Leaf like comes into StarClan and she's like, ah yes, we chose well on the cat, so we chose to take on the journey. It's like, that's Spotted Leaf for you. Were you even there? Question mark? Huh. But what was the other thing? Okay, yeah, so Yellowfang gets a prophecy where she doesn't understand. She's like, I was given a prophecy in oh, can I move Brambleclaw so he's not covering? Absolutely. I'll move the chat up is what I'll do. There we are. There we go. Whoa! Trying to grab. There we are. Get them. Oh no. I want this to be on top though. All the way. I'm fighting for my life over here. We gotta have the beautiful goats at the very top. Whoa. Because these full, and they have to be big. We love the donations. They truly mean so much to me. So they gotta be nice and big. Oh, what do you use for your PNG tuber? I use the program called Honk. Not sponsored, but it is. I really enjoy it. It's very easy to use. Not sponsored again. So let me find this quote. Because Yellowfang gets this prophecy from StarClan, the whole blood will spill blood, right? Where are we? Yeah. Okay, so okay, Nightstar's eyes narrowed. So they're talking about, this is like the very beginning. They're talking about, wow, the trip to the lake. Holy cow, my book is falling apart. This is the book I had when I was like a child, so it is like 100 years old. A little dunk on myself there, ouch. Nightstar's eyes, interesting that they call him Nightstar, by the way. Nightstar's eyes narrowed and his tail tip twitched. But before he could spit out a reply, another cat padded forward. A thick-furred gray she-cat with a broad face and a fierce gleam in her eyes. She stood beside Spotted Leaf at the mossy edge of the pool and gazed down into the water. After a few moments, ripples began to spread in circles from the middle of the pool and wash against the bank. The gray she-cat lifted her head. I have seen what will come, she growled. There are dark times ahead. A stir of anxiety passed through the cats like wind rippling through reeds, but no cat dared to question her out loud. Well, Blue Star demanded when the silence had stretched out for several heartbeats. Tell us what you mean, Yellowfang. It's Yellowfang, yeah! The gray she-cat hesitated. I am not certain what I have seen, she rasped at last. And you won't like what I have to tell you. She closed her eyes, and when she spoke, her voice was deeper and quieter than before, so that every cat had to strain to listen. She's being so dramatic about it. Before there's peace, blood will spill blood and the lake will run red. So my question is, who the hell sent that? What? I thought StarClan. Like, I don't, if StarClan's getting prophecy, is there Star Clan? I don't know. I don't understand. I really help somebody. Who is sending these things? Are they just like getting visions from the future? And if so, who is the one who bestowed this power for them to look into the future? Or is it just their magical powers as StarClan? It just feels like, does it go all the way up? It feels like, are we in a simulation of StarClan simulation of being in StarClan? I don't know, and it terrifies me. Who is sending her these messages? We'll never know. We'll never know. Maybe it's the Mouse Clan. Maybe it's Mouse StarClan. It goes to wraps all the way back around. Okay, what else do I have to talk about? Okay. Tawny Pelt is the one who goes to check out the Shadow Clan territory to like scope out a home. And she's like, on page 29, she makes the comment, what? What? Are you, okay, somebody said Elon Musk. Are you saying that's who's sending StarClan messages? I hate that. That's so weird. Get out of my worry guts. Like, okay, page 29. Where are we? Page 29. Come back. Where are you? Oh, Tawny Pelt muttered, because Black Star's letting her scope out the territory. It's the first time he's ever let me represent Shadow Clan. Brambleclaw swept his tail soothingly over her shoulder. He knew that Black Star was unlikely to forget that Tawny Pelt had been born in ThunderClan, however hard she tried to prove she was a loyal warrior to Shadow Clan. As though freaking Blackfoot wasn't Tiger Claw's #1 boy. I can't believe this. She has more loyalty in one singular clipping of her claw than you do in your entire damn body, Black Star. Can you take yourself out, have a breath of fresh air, and find your sense of, like, reality? Because clearly you're living in a place that none of us get to go with. Because you are far more disloyal in the grand scheme of things than she ever has been. And I'm just can you smell that? I'm smelling projection. You little turd. Stinky. Terrible. He's an okay guy though. I was just so like put off about that. I was like, you little jerk. What's wrong with you? They were written into fate from the first dawn of the world. Sunny being poetic? What? That's not new though. Sunny is always poetic. Sunny had, okay, here, this is just turned into a glazing Sunny stream and I'm fine with that. I'm totally comfortable with that. But Sunny has a way of presenting information and like writing things out that you just want to listen. You're just like, tell me more. Let me absorb it. Okay, anyways, focus. Sorry, okay. Sorry, Sunny. And then instantly, Black Star's a stinky man. See? Instantly proves my point. He is a stinky man. Let's see what else I got. Okay, so on Leaf Paw, at one point, it's like, I think she's looking at Squirrel Flight and Bramble Clan, and she goes, oh, I wish I had somebody who looked at me like that. And then instantly looks over at Crowfeather, and she's like, you'll do. You're good. Okay, so now I've moved to my, audiobooks. Let me pull up my Google Doc, because, halfway through, I'm like, you know what? I have many things to do, and a big part of that is play a video game. So I'm like, I'll listen and play at the same time. We call that multitasking. So I was listening, I promise. Okay, let me move this onto this screen so I can see it just a tiny bit better. Let me move this. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself around here. Okay, there we are. Move this. There we go. Okay, so Tawny Pelt at one point. So Brambleclaw and Squirrel Flight are like talking, and this is I'm so sorry. I have jumped back and forth so much throughout like this entire thing that there is no way you're following any of this timeline. Petition for a Blixemi out of context video. You can fully watch my videos in context and you will be just as confused. You'll be like, what is happening? Also, you know what I'm going to point out to you that you're never going to unsee, and I've been meaning to fix it for like 500 thoughts and I keep forgetting. My character's eyes, right where the lashes meet the stripes on the side of the face, have these little spots of where the stripe got miscolored from when I think I colored the version of her eyes that are closed, and I can't stop staring at it, and I need to fix it, and I just can't ever remember to. And then the other thing is when I blink, you'll notice that the little oh no, it's the O, I think. Yeah, it's the O, that there's a little on the left side, right side of it, or her face, it goes white. So how fun. Now you're never gonna notice that. Yeah. Five Nights. Oh, this is what a cute name. Five Nights at Ferrets. Come on, I love ferrets, guys. Ferrets are so cute. Like I don't think I would be able to own one because I think there are a lot of maintenance that I don't think I am like able to provide them. But I do love to look at videos of them. Oh my god, they're so funny. Anyways, said hi Blix. How much money are you gonna sue the Warrior Cats team if they kill Mothwing? I will be so depending on how they do it. If they do it in a satisfying way, you could convince me that it's for the best. I will throw up every single night for the rest of my life, kick and scream, and start throwing punches towards where do the Erins live? Britain? I'll start throwing it that direction. I don't know where it would be in terms of where I'm. If I'm standing in Saskatchewan, where could I start punching? What direction? Anyways, the Erins will know. The threat is in the air and they will just sense it. Yes. Okay. So what else do I have on my notes here? Oh, a Misty Foot at one point. Okay, so the cats are like walking around trying to find this territory, and they're like, oh my god, they're at the lake. And they're like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's like an upturned leaf on the water, but made out of wood and huge, and the two legs are sitting in it. They're like, what is this strange contraption? And Misty Foot cuts in and she goes, actually, you stupid, ugly people, that's a boat, and you should feel stupid for not knowing that. I'd be like, damn, okay. She's like, yeah, if you were in Flips Her Hair River Clan, the best clan, you would know that, but you aren't, so you're a little dumb. And everybody's like, okay, damn, okay, ouch. I just thought it was so funny how she did it. And then this is my note before everything turned bad. Listen to my note verbatim, what I've written. Squirrelflight and Bramble Claw being the cutest in this book, though. Oh my god. Her telling him that she understands he wants his old home back, and then him thinking, I brought the only thing I needed. Aww. And then screaming 5 minutes later where everything was sideways. And then instantly underneath, not gonna lie, I'm kind of on Bramble Claw's side in this argument. I put no page notes, so I didn't reference. But listen to this. Okay, so... Oh, no, sorry, this is something different. Okay, so Hawkfrost, this is what I was talking about when they were in Cloudberry. What Q says, I am confused. What is she talking about? Cloudberry, I think anybody who's been here, even just since the beginning, could say the same thing. I don't think I even know. Alex, the way you've written Saskatchewan, hold on, Saskatchewan. Oh, that is so, I gotta keep that Saskatchewan. No, Chappelle Roan reference. Kind of. Technically, I was in Saskatchewan before it was school. I was born and raised here, so you know what? What can I say? There's nothing here. It is flat, and it is like the smallest, I think. I know it's definitely not. But I went to a major city with my sister recently, like a couple weekends ago, and the city that I was in had, actually, I think, yeah, the city I was in had 3 times the amount, no, what was it? Hold on. Let me Google. Okay, no, I 100% lied. The city that I was in had 1.5 to 1.8 million people in it. Had that many people in this city. My entire province, so I think, what is that for America as a state? Has 1 million. So it's so wild. The city that I was in was bigger than my entire province. I was like, wow, this is, yep, I am from nowhere. That's neato. But the traffic, oh my god, I wasn't driving, thank god. I could not drive in that traffic. Okay, this is not the point, Jaden. Focus. Who's Blix's favorite gay couple? Is it a cop-out to say Mothwing and Leafpool? I do love, and you know what, if we're talking canon, we don't have enough, because I guess the only real canonical one we have are Ravenpaw and Barley, and I guess I don't think it was ever confirmed, but I do love, it's obviously not real. I do like Feathertail and Tawny Pelt, though. They're not related, right? Just gotta make sure. I don't think so. No, because it would be Tiger Claw and Greystripe. Yeah, no, I think it's fine. But I love Mothwing and Leafpool. But you know what? I've decided in these rewrites, Leafpool is just, she's so indecisive. me. And I think that's why I've become like, I love her so much. But you know what? She's kind of annoying me now. But for a couple books there, I was like, hey, could you not? Could you just stop? But she's so indecisive, but she falls in love so fast and it kills me. And she doesn't actually, but the way she talks of like, oh my god, like that, she just sees somebody and she's like, they're beautiful, they're perfect, they're so lovely. And I'm just like, leave paw, you're so cute. Like she talks about how beautiful Feathertail is, she talks about how beautiful Mothwing is, she talks about how amazing Cody is and how much she appreciates her and loves her. And she's just so like, when you think like, she's very similar to Squirrelflight in that very like just gut feeling and goes with it, but she's just like, she just loves people. Like, I don't think she's ever looked at somebody, because even Hawkfrost, she's like, yeah, I mean, I kind of get it. I don't know. She's just very, but she's so indecisive, and that is so real. Leaf Pool stares at Mothwing's beauty. Honest to God. Honest to God. Here's the thing, though. I'm about to say something so blasphemous, but, like, I feel like, Leaf Pool, oh my god, struggling, loves Mothwing. But I think she just loves people in general. Like, she loves Mothwing, but, like, she just loves hard. And like, I mean, how could you not fall in love with Mothwing, you know? And Mothwing is, I think she doesn't look at Leaf Paw, well, I almost did it again, and is like, oh my god, I love her. But over time, she gets an even stronger, in my opinion, thing of like, I could not live without Leaf Pool in my life. She's been there since day one. Like, she's always been that shoulder to lean on. And it's more of a slowly realize that she loves her. Whereas Leaf Paw sees Mothwing and she's like, I would die for you. And I will. No, she doesn't, but you know, so. Blixstar, if you weren't leader of Blix clan, what clan would you be in? I would be in the one that would let me just do as little as possible to just vibe, because I would not be a good hunter or fighter. If they have like a storyteller or something, that would be that. So I guess maybe we're like, I'm so sorry. It's so unprofessional. Okay. What else do we have? Oh man, when the cats are splitting up and the the cats are like going in different clans, not Birch Kit and Apple Kit and Toad Kit and some other kid I can't remember, but they're like, if they're not going to my clan, I'm not going with them. And then like Tall Flower and Fern Cloud, I think, don't quote me, I could be just pulling those out of my butt, are like looking at each other like, uh-oh, like they're besties and we're gonna pull them apart. Oh, my heart. And Birch Kit's like, I don't want to go because there's no kits in the clan that are my age that I can play with. Everybody's like, oh, yep, because they all died. Boop, boop, that's okay. Uh-oh. But it was just so sad. Oh, no. And also, okay, so in this book, very clear, a huge major plot point is that Tall Star dies. And that is sad. But they talk about Tall Star dying before the man's even dead. And they're like, oh my god, yeah, he's on his way to join Star Clan, like he's dead, he's gone, we will miss him. And from like the off screen he goes, hey, I'm still here, like I'm not feeling great, but I'm still kicking. They're like, oh, it's a whole meme of, oh, I can almost hear his voice now, and he's like, I'm still alive. Like, oh man, that's so sad. But I just thought that was so funny. But they talk about it so much. And the whole thing, here's the thing, I don't agree with who's this? What's the guy's? Mudclaw. I don't agree with him. No. However, I do think it is so suspicious. Ooh, Frostpaw and Whistlepaw. Oh, come on. I did really like that. Oh, I haven't read the new books though. But what the heck was I just saying? Oh, it is so suspicious because, like, I don't agree with Mudclaw, but it does seem like if I was Mudclaw, I would have something to say about it too, because I think about it like, you're this random guy. He's like, yeah, you were supposed to be the next CEO, but actually the CEO left and only my bestie was in the room. I'm making this more confusing. He's, you know, my best friend was in there, and he actually said, I'm leader. Nobody else saw it except for like my best friend's son. Like, those two saw it and said that I'm gonna be leader. So we're just gonna have to go with that, and you're just gonna have to go with my word. So okay, I'm gonna be the leader, bye. And then Mudclaw's like, what the hell, bro? What? And like, I get it, because like Tall Star had this moment of like realizing, especially on the journey, that friendship and magic and the elements of harmony are proving to be the only like way that the clans can move forward, at least in this one instance. And so he's like, Mudclaw will make sure that there is like no friendship between us. And he's like, he's a strong cat, but he's not aware of, he doesn't know friendship. He has no friends. And he's cringed for that. And I said, Tallstar, don't say that. That is so rude. And then Tallstar dies. I'm like, bro, there he goes again. But anyways, so I don't know. I was kind of suspicious. So I don't agree. Who's your favorite male cat? Purdy, without a doubt. I love Purdy so much. He's so funny. I love him. But what was I saying? I don't know. It's like I get where Mudcloud, who's that? Just that's my OC. Mudclaw. I get where he's coming from because it is so suspicious, and I would be like, but I did like that Crowfeather stands up for them because like everybody's being like, oh, only you and Brambleclaw to Firestar. They're like, only you and Brambleclaw saw the leader say this, blah, 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 blah. And Brambleclaw's like, no, like I was there. I can attest to the fact that Tallstar said One Whisker should be leader. And everybody's like, well, you're still a ThunderClan cat. And you're like, Firestar is like #1 man. And kind of, because Greystripe's MIA. But like, that's weird. And then Crowfeather steps up and he's like, I went on this big journey with him. I'm a Wooden Clan cat through and through. I'm so loyal, but I know Brambleclaw and he would not lie. And then they're like, okay, like we will take your word for it, Crowfeather. So I thought that was neat. And it's, I hate to say this and I'm gonna throw up again, but I do kind of like Crowfeather in this book, except for the audiobook that I was listening to. The guy made Crowfeather sound so damn whiny every time he would talk like this. And I'm like, okay, we need to stop. We need to just stop. Don't get why are we doing this to him? But yes, my poor Crowfeather. No! What did I just say? Gross. Oh, okay, so ThunderClan gets into camp. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. That's so far ahead and I'm gonna pretend to not look. What is this? Okay, sorry. So everybody gets into the ThunderClan camp. They're like, wow, look at this, the camp. And everybody walks in. And the scene where everything kind of, everybody's like, wow. And it like pans over and Golden Flower has got her tail on Longtail. And she's just explaining to him, just like not saying anything. Oh, I gotta see if I can find it. Because it is so, like, I stopped and I was like, oh, no, freaking Golden Flower. That's so sweet, my heart. Let's see if I can find it. And she's not in this book very much. Okay, so hold on, Golden Flower. Where are we? Okay, listen to this. Okay, so they've just gotten into camp. Golden Flower was standing beside Longtail. Her tail curled across his shoulders. Hello, I struggled through that. Her tail curled across his shoulders. It's a huge clearing with stone walls, she mewed softly. It's quite dark, but I think the walls are covered with ferns and moss. Can you hear the trickle of water? It sounds more like rain draining off the rock than a proper stream. The hollow is full of brambles and thorn thickets, but there's plenty of space for the clan. Then StarClan has brought us to an excellent place, Longtail meowed. I can easily imagine building our camp here. And it was just such a subtle little moment where she's like, and doesn't make a big deal about it, but it's just like, yeah, like this is what oh god, my heart, I was just like, man, we do not get enough from Golden Flower. She is so sweet. And like, man, what a beautiful character that we have, just like this strong mother figure that Brambleclaw could go to. So, and he just forgets. He's like, oh yeah, I think I had a mom. Weird. Who cares? And I'm like, no! Any ideas of what warrior cat I should draw? Says Nikki. Golden Flower. We love Golden Flower. She's so sweet. Oh, Golden Flower. Okay, what else do I have for notes? Ooh, Rowan Claw. So Rowan Claw comes up to a tawny pelt and calls her a half-clan warrior. I'm like, boy, that is no way to treat your future wife. Not that I know that, but let's see, Rowan Claw. Let's see if I can get this. Where are we? Okay. So Rowan Claw's about to pounce on Brambleclaw. Before Rowan Claw could pounce, a tortoiseshell streak burst out of the bushes and bowled him over. It was Tawny Belt. What are you doing? She spat. It is much too soon to start fighting over territory. Rowan Claw glared at his clanmate. What a surprise. It's the half-clan warrior, he hissed. We all know you'd rather defend your brother than your clan. That's not true, Tawny Pelt protested. No, it's not, blah, blah, blah. They talking, I'm like, it's, enemies to smoochers, I suppose. Cause that, yeah, Rowan Claw, right? Oh, this is me, yeah, talking about One Whisker. Okay, so Tiger Claw. So he meets Hawkfrost and Brambleclaw in like Dream World, and they're like, "Hello, father," and he's like, "Hello, sons. It is so good to see you." But he's actually such a chill guy, and he's like, he's not. And I wish they were more subtle with him. And I feel like they did it really well in this book, where they're like, "Are you Tiger Claw?" And he's like, "Yeah," or Tiger Star. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Tiger Star," and they're like, "Oh, like." And then he's like, "How are you guys?" Like Tiger Claw saying to his son, he's like, "What? How's the prey running? How are you doing?" And Brambleclaw says something like, we're fitting in, but we're really not feeling like this is home yet, and we all really miss the old forest, and it's hard adjusting. And Tiger Claw goes, "Yeah, like it's gonna be hard, but like it will get better. It will feel like home soon. You just got to keep doing your best and keep, make sure you defend your territory and take care of your clan, and that's the most important thing. And once you're done that, it'll feel more like home." And it's just like, yeah, yep. It was just so like, yeah, that was such nice fatherly advice that it's like, you can kind of, because like if they were like, I mean, this is kind of going to spoilers for future books, and I don't like to do that, but like, had he been like, "No, you must seize power," and they're like, "No," because then it would be like, but the fact that he is just like, "Yeah, I'm your dad, like I'm taking an interest in your life, I want the best for you," so it like makes sense that like they would be drawn more to him, to be like, oh, like, because that's your dad, or like your parental figure, so you're gonna have that draw to like know and stuff like that. And so I just he's a type of dad who is 8 times in jail but would still take you for ice cream and chit chat. Like that. Sorry, what was that? Let me see that comment. That was Extent. It's just like, yeah, he's just like, just being so, I don't know, like just chill. And I liked it because it makes Brambleclaws want to connect with Hawkfrost and later his dad more realistic, because you feel like, oh yeah, like he does have this like, oh my god, my dad, like, I don't know. So I really did like that. What else we got? Oh yeah, we meet Daisy. I had nothing more to say about that other than we meet Daisy. What is CRK? What is CRK? CRK? Cat Rain. I can't think of a kangaroo. That was cat ran kangaroo. I can't think of another K word. Okay, so this is, yeah, me being annoyed with squirrel flight. We've been over that. They said, I don't know why I felt the need to bring this up, but I was having a moment of aha. They said Mothwing had blue eyes, and I felt the need to point that out. It's Cookie Run Kingdom. Cookie Run Kingdom? The kingdom is run by cookies. That's actually kind of sick. What is this, a book? A movie? No, it's surely it's no, I feel like I have heard that. It's a mobile game, no? Or am I out to lunch? I actually have no idea. I'm being a boomer. And Spotted Leaf, why is she in this book so damn much? Her and Leaf Palm, like, why? Does she have the, like, this weird connection? Like, I just don't understand. And Spotted Leaf's the one who, like, really showed them to the, I just don't really understand why. Okay. Brackenfur and Sorreltail being so precious in this book. My god, my heart, they're so sweet together. And like, you can tell that Brackenfur is just a little shy guy, and like, so Leafpaw to Sorreltail says like, I think I know where I have to go to meet StarClan. And the Sorreltail's like, well, no, I'll go with you, like, so you'll be safe. So they go out of camp, and there's a couple times in this book where it had hinted towards Sorreltail and Brackenfur, like, having a crush on each other. So they go to leave, but Brackenfur is the one who's guarding camp. And they're like, okay, like, we have to go, and Brackenfur's like, no, like, it's not safe, like, I can't let you guys go, like, it's in the middle of the night, like, there's a lot of tensions going on with all the different clans, like, it's not safe. And Sorreltail's like, oh, like, I'll take good care of Leafpaw, and like, I'll bring her back safe, like, I promise. And he's like, well, if any cat could do it, it's you, Sorreltail. And it's like, aw, and then they like bat each other, and then they go up, like, oh, it was just so cute. And it was just like these subtle little moments of like, just like flirting, and I just thought it was, I was like, oh. Um, what else we got? Oh, and then when Leafpaw finds the moon pool, and all the people, oh, she sees, she's like commenting, she's like, I don't really recognize any of these cats, like they're so strange to me. But then she's like, well, wait, and she starts to recognize people in the crowd. She sees, oh my gosh, there's Dappletail, who was once like this older and like weak cat from hunger who died by eating the poison rabbit. She's like youthful and lively, and she's looking so healthy. And then she looks over and she's like, she sees two little kits running around, and she's like, oh my god, that's a large kit and a holly kit. I'm like, oh, my heart. And then she's like, and shortly behind them is their older brother playing with them, Shrewpaw. And I'm like, could we stop? My heart. And it was just so sweet. And then Feathertail comes up to her and she's like, hey, what up, girl? And she's like, tell Crowfeather that it's totally okay if you guys smooch. I'm fine with it. Like, you guys got lots of years. I'm just gonna be chilling here. Like, there's no worries. No worries. So I thought that was so sweet. And then Crowfeather, hesitating to save Leafpaw. So I don't even know what's happening. It's so much is going on at this point at the end of the book. But Leafpaw, she's about to fall over the edge of the cliff, and she's holding on to the edge of the rock. Her claws are slipping. The rain is making everything slick and slippery, and she's clawing into rock and has no grip because there's nothing for her to sink her little feet into. And she's like, help me, Crowfeather. And Crowfeather's just looking at her being like, oh, she's like, oh, I'm gonna slip. And she's go, brother, help me. And he's like, long live the king. And he throws her off. He doesn't do that. But he's looking down at her, and he's like hesitating, and she's like, bro, like, I'm like, as we can see. And she's like, if we have a moment and look down, oh, she's gonna fall into ThunderClan's camp is what's happening. She's like, if we can look down below us, we can see two Shadow Clan cats who jumped, who much like me, I'm about to fall. They have fallen. They're down there. Their necks are broken. Straight up. If I fall, I too will have a broken neck. So I'm going to have to ask you to please, for the love of God and all that's holy, don't let me fall off this cliff. And he's like, Feathertail. She's like, please. And so if Crowfeather's up there having a moment, and he's like, I should have saved you, Feathertail. And Leafpaw's like, yeah, but you can still save me. And she's like talking to him this whole time. And she's like, yeah, like, very good. And but then, like, just as she falls and she's about to slip off and fall, he grabs her scruff and he pulls her back up. She's like, oh my god, thank you. And she like has a moment, and she goes, ha ha ha, because like up until this point, Crowfeather had been very like not aggressive, but like very like just like I can't think of my word, like very like rude, but like just like an ad. I'm so sorry. I have it set to low. I'm so sorry. Here, let me wait for the ads. Here I am. I'm just chilling. La 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 la. That's the only thing about lives and ads. It's like they don't care. They just don't give you a moment. I wish they would give me a heads up too if they were gonna send them out, but I guess they send them out to different people at different times, so I could like have a pause. But I have it set to low as per usual, so hopefully it's not too aggressive in how much they're sending it. But so yeah, so Leafpaw's like, oh, like, or a Leafpool, I think at this point. She's like, oh, like, you know, I'm probably the last cat that you would want to save because he's just been so, like, outwardly, like, aggressive to her in the sense of, like, just being super cold. And he goes, what? How do you not know? And she's like, what? And he's like, how, this whole time, are you telling me you didn't know? And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I love you so much, and, like, everything about this, and I've always been in love with you, and, like, I have such a big crush on you. She's like, what? And he's like, I've been, and he's pulling the whole, like, I've been so mean to you because I've been struggling with my feelings for you. And then Leafpaw very conveniently goes, or Leafpool, sorry, at this point. She's like, oh, but also Feathertail? Oh, no, I think she tells him this beforehand. She goes, Feathertail not, or, no, I can't remember if it's before or after, but in any case, at some point, Leafpool says to Crowfeather, I talked to Feathertail, and she said to not mourn her. There's many moons before you join her. And she's like, Feathertail told me that it's okay for you to love again, and she, like, wants you to be happy. And then Crowfeather, like, they make a, I can't remember, but I read it, the audio guy was reading it, and I was like, I don't love this vibe. But he was like, Crowfeather was staring at her hungrily, but then he was like, but to hear more of what she was saying, I'm like, oh, it was just so weird. I'm like, what is happening? But, yes, so, yeah, so then Crowfeather admits he really, loves her and has fallen, deeply and utterly in love with her, and I'm sobbing. And then we get a hard cut back to, oh, and then throughout this whole thing, I forgot to mention, Leaf Pool has been getting the prophecy, blood will spill blood, blah, 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 blah. Very good. Not good. Bad, actually. But anyways, so then we get the whole thing with Hawkfrost, and Brambleclaw's like, oh, I'm such a fool, like Hawkfrost, because Mistyfoot jumps into camp and she's like, Hawkfrost is planning against River Clan, and like he's going to cause like this big war, and like he's on the wrong side. But then Brambleclaw's like, oh my god, so he goes running after Hawkfrost, but then Hawkfrost last moment kind of like pivots, and he's like, no, like I realized that like I thought I was doing what was right, but I can see he's evil, and it's just this big thing. But the way that Hawkfrost was able to pivot and then like totally take, like, man, I don't want to get into crazy spoilers, but holy cow, did they fumble with Hawkfrost, because he would have been so good as a villain. And maybe you could argue that he kind of just like fell upwards into this manipulation where things just kind of worked out, like with the whole lightning striking the tree and stuff. But you have to be quick on your damn feet to be able to like take that and like totally spin it and adjust it and like make it so that you've done this bad thing, but at the end of the day nobody's really arguing and being like, okay, like it wasn't great, but you were very valid in what you were saying. And it is kind of noble, because it's like, yes, you thought you were doing what was right. And it's like, obviously the people like Mistyfoot and stuff, they're like, no, you're piece of crap, like we know that. But like to most people they're like, no, you know what, that kind of makes sense actually, like I kind of understand where you're coming from. And I don't know, I just think he's so like, in where Tiger Claw was like just fighting and just like, yeah, I'm strong and I'll take over the clans, and like a lot of the times like we get villains like that, like I feel like they could have done something so cool with Hawkfrost where it was taking over the clans, but in a way his dad never did, of the whole like manipulate, well, Tiger Claw kind of did, but not well and not really. But him being able to do these little things where he's sowing seeds of distrust between the leaders and between the cats and this clan and this clan, and just like using like tactics of strength, not necessarily just like brute strength, but rather like strength of not manipulation, but just being able to like cause distrust and disrest, and taking advantage of that chaos to then go forward and like swoop in and do things or take things over, or like I just really think they could have done really cool stuff with him, and then they didn't. But we'll get into that, I suppose, in about 2 books. But nah, I don't know, I was just so but yeah. Also, who would be, wait, is this problem? No, Feathertail and Hawkfrost, because I think of like the sweetest, gentlest cat, and it's Feathertail, and then we have Hawkfrost. That would be so cute, huh? Aww. Oh, but then there's Crowfeather. No, you know what? I don't know. I feel like Crowfeather and Feathertail are just so short-lived, and it's just young love. I don't know, but I do think Crowfeather really does love Leaf Paw Pool. I mean, because like for a long time there I was like, I don't think they actually like each other, but rereading this book I'm like, oh, it is very apparent they did. I was way wrong. But oh, Cedar, I love how you said this. Sow seeds of chaos just to sweep in as the hero. Totally. And just be able to like make it this, because like it's really a chaotic time for the clans. Like everybody's like figuring out their territory, and some cats are like, you're crossing our territory. Like the Shadow Clan cats are like, oh my god, like you're trespassing on our territory, and they're looking around, they're like, no, we're not. And they're like, you definitely are. And they're like, see how the birch trees turn into pine trees, and our scent marker was back there, you've crossed it. And then I think it's Brambleclaw's like, oh, I think you're right actually, like, but we've been living together for so long that I can't really distinguish the separate scents of which clans are which anymore, so it just smelled like us and I'm used to it. And so like there is a lot of chaos, not for any other reason than just like such a big and like brutal change of everything that they've ever known. They don't have a place to meet StarClan. They don't have a gathering spot until the end. Like there's so many things that are already chaotic, that what a perfect time for Hawkfrost to do things like that, to go in and be able to like ruffle things up even more, so that he can then swoop in like Cedar had said, and just be that hero. And I think that's what he was going to do had the whole Mudclaw thing panned out. And I think Mistyfoot kind of got in the way of that, which is good Mistyfoot. But yeah, I don't know. I really do like Hawkfrost. I think he is truly one of my favorite characters in the sense of what he could have been. Yeah, clear. Oh yeah, these are, sorry. And when I'm talking about Brambleclaw and all that, I'm talking just from the point of these books, because I feel like it's just easier and more clear cut that way to just go off what we know already. Plus two, then it's like if people haven't read farther ahead, I'm trying to not spoil, I'm bad for it, but yeah, so that is Starlight. I did enjoy this book. It was pretty good. It took me a long time to read it, but sorry for not streaming last weekend. I was in a different city, but I'm home now. And yes, I'd like to do some more streaming. These book talks too. I was wondering too, so I'm streaming every Saturday. Do you guys want me to continue with obviously I'm still going to continue with the book reads, but do you want me to sprinkle in other streams on Saturdays instead of the like book talks, and kind of like sprinkle in, or should I just try and sprinkle them in randomly whenever I kind of have an idea to stream, like randomly during the week, of like tier lists and stuff like that? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? But yes, this was so fun. Says Kate, I do enjoy these. I do enjoy just yapping. Blix, tell me who to draw, please. I'm saying Golden Flower. I do love Golden Flower. Goob is a cat. Iggy. Oh my goodness, Iggy. Poor Goob. Goob is just a little precious old lady, and Iggy just wants to cuddle with her, and Goob will not have it. Goob, come here. Come here, baby. Oh, my poor Poochie dog. She's an old lass. She's gonna be 14, and we went on a walk yesterday, and she's pretty stiff from it. Are you okay, Goob? She's out of here. Oh, you can go see Austin? Go see him. Oh, poor girl. But yes, but yeah, just more overall. Yeah. I think I'd like to do some more, whether or not it's on just Saturday or just throughout the week. I'd also like to do more on TikTok. I've been wanting to, but I've been so drained recently. Not to like turn this into a vent sesh, but yeah, I've been not in the mindset to like be talking to another human being, except for myself, and even then, like, I'm like, wait. So I've been slowly getting there. I've got some songs on the way, and all good it is. So thanks for hanging out. I guess this was kind of a short one. I kind of like just ripped through that, but that's what I have to say on the kitty cats. I will be here for I hope next weekend, whether or not it's Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure which one. I like to do them on Saturdays, but sometimes Saturday comes and I'm like, whoop, I'm so not ready. But yes, so I think going forward, it will either be Saturday or Sunday, but it will be at 11. So if it's not Saturday, it will be on Sunday. So keep an eye open for that. And we will catch you next week with what's the next book, in case anybody's wanting to read along with it. We have... Oh, this book is so old that it does not have the next book. Okay, what is after Starlight? That's how old this book is. When this one came out, it was the newest one. Okay, Starlight Warriors. Let's see. Let me see if I can contact Star Clan and find out. It's Moonrise? Did we do Moonrise already? Okay, no, that's not what I want. After Starlight is... No, oh god. Twilight. Makes sense, I guess. Twilight Sparkle. Beauty. Okay, well, gang, you guys have a good one, and we will catch you